Oh, I'm so excited to introduce you to Dr. Amy Dufrane. And today we're going to have a conversation about your zone of genius. So, welcome, Amy.
Thank you, Maura. It's great to be here.
Yes, I'm going to introduce you to all the students that are watching and give some background, and then we're jumping right in.
Perfect.
Dr. Amy Dufrane's vision has created an innovative learning organization to meet new career, business, and workforce demands. As Chief Executive Officer at Human Resources Certification Institute, Dr. Dufrane recognizes constantly shifting technologies, laws, and workplace environments that require diverse knowledge, skills, and experience. Collectively, these factors have disrupted businesses and created opportunities for HR to develop strategies, broader learning, and a critical ingredient to drive successful businesses. Before she was CEO at HRCI, she spent many years as an innovator of human capital strategies for progressive organizations and in higher education, teaching the leaders of tomorrow. She also serves on the Wall Street Journal CEO Council, is a member of the Economic Club, CEO Roundtable, and on the board for the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. Amy holds a doctorate from George Washington University, an MBA and an MA from Marymount University, and a BS from Hood College. She's certified by HRCI as a senior professional human resources and certified association executive, CAE, and also, wow, I mean, I can keep going.
It's a mouthful. It's all a mouthful.
It is. Okay, so a few more initials. Wow. So, okay, you check all of the boxes. All of the boxes. Thank you. Okay, we're jumping right into the zone of genius. And so, do you remember what it was like when you first learned what your zone of genius is?
I did. And I think, we together you walked me through this process of making that big leap and thinking about my zone of genius and thinking about where do I and how can I give the most back to myself and to others. And so I think it was a process that was inspiring, and it has refocused my efforts as a leader.
We focused your efforts as a leader. Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So I think when you look at, and I'm cheating a bit because I have this like all about me notebook that we pulled together because Maura and I worked together on this effort for me. And we talked about what an upper limit problem is, which is sort of a very specific terminology that's used in finding your zone of genius. And I had to walk through what do I most love to do? What is it that I love to do personally? What do I love to do professionally? And what work do I do that doesn't seem like work? So really thinking about that work that's easy for me to do. And where do I get the most abundance and satisfaction from these? But I think, as a leader, we all look at the different buckets of things that I think only I can do, or that it's easy for me to do, so I'm just going to do it because I can do it quickly. But it's recognizing that those opportunities for things that are easy for me to do, delegating them downward and bringing people up around you so that they can be effective in and taking this work off your plate so that you can focus on what it is that charges your battery, that you're really excited about doing, and that you want to do and that you're good at doing. And so as a leader, it focused me on, I love thinking about the future. I love thinking about strategy. I love, sort of imagining what could be, and it really finding my zone of genius, which is that, and making sure that I'm focusing on that is what I really, what was really important to me and illuminating for me as a leader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And once you identified your zone of genius as a futurist and a strategist, and there's a third component that I know, is the
Uh,
bringer together of great people.
there you go.
Yes,
You know
right.
my zone of genius better than
Yeah,
I do.
futurist. Yeah, futurist, thought leader, strategist, and bringer together of great people. Right. So, um, when you did this, when you identified this, what'd you do about it?
Well, I think it focused me to
Mhm.
reframe where I spent my time, and
Okay.
to really, when something bubbled up that I felt like, oh, I might need to do this, I sort of would take a step back and go, now, is this something that I am good at doing and I want to do, or I'm good at doing and I don't really want to do, and somebody else could do just as good as I
Mhm.
can? And so that was, kind of where it focused me, and where
Mhm.
it, experientially, what it did for me is to focus on those things that are super important, um, for for me, and where it, it's not work to me, it's more fun, which is what
Right.
which is ultimately what we're trying to do, right? Is to really focus
Right.
on those things that are fun for you to do.
Right. Okay. Do you have an example of how you've applied your zone of genius this year through this pandemic?
Oh, wow. I think that, one of the things that we've had to do as an organization, as almost every CEO that I've talked to, in any industry around, you know, in not just domestically, but around the globe, is really rethinking their business. And I think that for me, that comes really naturally. For others, that's hard to do. And so through this pandemic, what we've been doing is realigning our business and focusing on, and it's helping me to have the business focus on what's important. So not just what's important for me, but what's important for the business. So I think that that's the part about the zone of genius that, has really helped me to focus on the future, because that's what I love to do. Think about strategy, think about where are we going, and make sure that we have the right people to get us to the next phase of, what I call HRCI 3.0. So, I brought together great people, but I want to make sure that those people can help us to build on HRCI 3.0, which is the future of our business. And this is what every CEO is thinking about right now, because some CEOs have had to make really tough decisions
Mhm.
during this pandemic on, talent. And so, what do you really, what's the core of your business, and what are you going to focus on? And I think that being in my zone of genius has really helped me to make more effective business decisions
Mhm.
and personal decisions too. And it's helped me
Mhm.
focus on what's important as a leader personally.
Because right now, being a leader, we all need leaders.
Oh,
We
yes.
need really effective leaders. And
Yep.
so, what have you seen in terms of your leadership and other effective leaders? Like, what is it that you're doing during this pandemic
Right. I think,
that's helpful?
yeah, for me, it's finding balance. It's really important for me to make sure that I'm creating that personal and professional balance, because, um, our company has been fortunate enough that everybody's been working from home. Um, I say this after I just spent a few hours today in the physical office, but those are for reasons that we're shifting office space, and so we're doing some things, getting prepared for when we are ready to physically come back into the office, whether it be 2020 or 2021, who knows? But I think for me, it's making sure that you're focused on balance, you're creating your personal health, your for me personally, I've been walking at least an hour and 15 minutes every day, getting out and clearing my brain and giving myself headspace, because there, right now there's a lot of things that are stressful. And in particular, our folks that we work with, which are HR practitioners, are really at the epicenter of sort of what's happening in our society, what's happening in the organizations, and what's happening to them personally. And they're having to lay people off. They're having to, work 7 days a week. They're having to, in some cases, they've laid themselves off because their, companies are shifting, in such dramatic ways. And so we're really focused and helping those people to be more effective and efficient at what they're doing. And so, I'm practicing what I'm preaching to our HR community, which is you've got to make sure that you have that balance, or you burn out. And I think that people who work at home full time probably do a better job at this because they've had a little bit more time to do it. Where people like me, who I worked more in the office than I did at home. And so I think it's creating that time and space for people to be effective as leaders. You've got to take care of yourself. And that's the most important thing about where we are right now in this pandemic, and where people really must focus on, because I mean, you have one body, one mind, one spirit, and you've got to take care of all of those things together.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's so easy to get caught up in work and work and work and work. And
Right.
effective leaders know that that balance is key.
That's right. And it helped, like finding your zone of genius. It really helps you to focus on what are those things that are where I can add the most value to the company, because that's what I'm getting paid to do. I'm getting paid to make the most effective decisions for the organization. And if I'm spending time doing stuff that someone else can do, it's not good for me, and it's not good for the business, and it's not good for the team either, because I'm not giving the team an opportunity to shine and grow.
Right. Wow. Thank you, Amy, so much. I love your zone of genius. You are a futurist and a thought leader and a strategist and a bringer together of great people. Thank you for your time today. And I wish you all the best with navigating these incredible times.
Thank you, Maura.
Thank you.